Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Brain Snob. It is actually episode number 102, and I just lost my natural light. Mega clouds have just come on in, and so I'm just going to make this video without my favorite blast of sunshine coming in through the window. Bear with me, but the topic is more important than what the screen looks like. Would you agree? I am going to hold up here in my hand the Merck Manual. Do you know what that is? Here we go. It is just this gigantic book. The pages are very, very fragile, so you want to turn the pages very carefully. You can see how thick it is. The Merck Manual is, this is the Centennial edition. The 17th edition, 100 years ago. Now, I bought this when I was in chiropractic college, so it's probably now 120 years ago, 121 years ago, and I thought it would be cool to buy the Centennial edition. This just tells you every little disease in the world, just the different things that can go wrong with your body, symptoms, how things are treated, lab work, just how things are diagnosed, and it covers everything from psychological to endocrine, cardiology. It's just all in there. Immunology, infectious disease. Ooh, did you hear that thunder? Gynecology, pediatrics, poisoning, so on and so forth. So here it is. The reason I pulled it off my shelf, I haven't touched this sucker in a long time. I used it last, I think, when I was teaching psychology over at the chiropractic college, and I was using this as the source for psychological diseases, and I haven't touched it since then. And I'm impressed. Hasn't fallen apart yet because I haven't used it. So here it is. I don't see much use for it because I don't focus on disease names. I don't focus on how to diagnose a disease because I focus on the brain, because the brain makes the body so you can make your life. And I would rather take care of the brain by moving the brain, feeding the brain, and talking to the brain. What's good for the brain is good for the rest of the body. So rather than look at all the names, because what's in a name? A whole lot of nothing. Actually, you give a name to your ailment, you all of a sudden have fear. You feel like you can't handle it. You feel like your body's not, your body is defective. That's what I'm trying to say. That your body just isn't good enough at healing. And we know the true healer is within you. I've got my own healer within me. So rather than focus on the names, look at all these things. Do you care about what your condition is named? Do you care what it's called? I don't think so. I think you care about how to get your health back. And I want to focus on how we've lost our health, because that's where things are problematic. We pretty much give our health away by negligence, just living our life in a crazy, chaotic, hectic manner, running our nervous system down. Your nervous system gets just beat up until that point of no return where your resilience comes to an end. But here's the funny thing about the Merck Manual. I did bring it out for a reason. I was listening to a podcast this morning by Mary Swander. She was the guest on One Radio Network. Mary Swander was a patient of Dr. Nicholas Gonzalez. She's writing a book about him, and I'm assuming it's going to be available very soon, and that's why she's doing the interview. So the title of the book is The Maverick MD, The Life of Nicholas Gonzalez. And she was a patient with him for about 20 years and is probably a very appropriate person to write his biography. And what was he famous for? He worked with people who had cancer. Now, you're not allowed to say you've cured cancer. So he had people with cancer, and if they happen to survive a real long time, well, isn't that just nice? Because he worked with them and helped them focus on what builds the body, what gives you health. And the Merck Manual, this is a funny little tidbit. Dr. Gonzalez, used a lot of cleansing, different types of cleansing modalities to get the toxins out of the body, the toxins that are disrupting your connective tissues, the toxins that are creating a very unworkable metabolic situation. Detoxing and cleansing was very popular in the Merck Manual until, I can't remember, around the 70s it was removed. Taken right out. This perturbed Dr. Gonzalez so much. He called up the publishers of the Merck Manual and he said, I noticed you removed something from the Merck Manual. You removed something very useful, and that's the cleansing process. Different ways of cleansing the body. The answer, now, I would think, you know what they're going to say, actually. Do I say it out loud? Oh, that's too alternative for us modern scientific people who use chemicals to treat the body with. They told him they needed more room for other information. It was a matter of space. How is that for an explanation? So my point here is cleansing is so important, but it was taken out of a very thick manual. It's still important. Nothing has changed. The human body hasn't changed. I'll tell you right now, our environment has changed. And our food has changed. Our air has changed. And our soil has changed. And we have to get back to understanding the toxicity problem. And I'm going to say it here because I tell people I can't get you out of pain. I help you heal. I help unlock that healing power. But I need to educate you on why you have pain. And I'm going to tell you right now, pain always has a toxicity component. And if you're not addressing your toxins, you are going to be scratching your head, mystified. Why do I have pain when I'm doing supposedly everything I've been told to do? And if you're in this one arena over here, they're going to tell you take muscle relaxers, take ibuprofen, try to exercise as much as you can stand it even though you're in pain, and take more ibuprofen. And sometimes they'll say try fish oil, try turmeric. But no one says get the toxins out of your body. And I call that SURE, S-U-R-E, swept under the rug experience. If you've got that swept under the rug experience, it's time to lift the rug and get the truth out. Get the toxins out of your body. Your body makes toxins, and you also receive too many toxins. You ingest toxins way more than we should, and that's a problem. And we need to be very cognizant of how to naturally detox and how to improve that mechanism. When I say you make your own toxins, that's because when you have inflammation from an injury, your cells go crazy with white blood cells to clear out the area, give you that inflammatory response is supposed to boost healing. But then that old dead cells, the tissues, they got to go somewhere. They do become waste products. They become toxic to the body. And if your liver and your lymph are having difficulties getting rid of that toxic buildup, not a good thing. If you're ingesting a lot of toxins from your environment, drinking toxins, eating toxins, and then your body has to deal with that in an overwhelming manner, that's more problem on top of problem. We need to focus on the toxic issue of our day. When I say make peace with modern life, that's part of it. We have to make peace with our crazy, chaotic schedules. We have to make peace with all the chemicals that are in our environment. We truly have to take care of how our body can bounce back by detoxing. And I teach that as part of the BFA protocol, Brain First Always. In fact, you can now get a BFA template, the Toxin Edition. There's not much difference to the original edition, except I name why you have a toxic problem. And if you remember the 5 annoying tolerating signs of brain impairment, stiff sore joints, high blood pressure, fatigue with shortness of breath, digestive disturbances, and brain fog with anxiety. Those 5 annoying things are signs of toxins, not just brain impairment, but you have toxic movement, toxic inflammation. When it comes to high blood pressure, you've got toxic blood and toxic kidneys. When it comes to fatigue and shortness of breath, well, toxic cells, toxic mitochondria. When it comes to digestive disturbances, toxic ingestion, big one, and toxic leaky gut. Because the things, not everything in your digestive tract should be released into your bloodstream. Your digestive system has to work very hard at taking in nutrition and blocking out the toxins. Your body works hard. Give it TLC. Thank it for its dedication to you. Do nice things for your digestive system. And I teach you that with the BFA protocol, Brain First Always. When you have brain fog and anxiety, that is a toxic brain inflammation, definitely. And you're in a toxic fight or flight state that keeps you locked into just frenziness, freneticness, and hyperactive energy. Not healing energy, not rest energy, not detoxification. That cannot happen. So the BFA template, the toxin edition, it's here. This is all on one piece of paper. It's a quick outline. You can have BFA coaching because you've already got the tools. I teach you how to be proficient with those tools. Your body has what it needs, but sometimes we're getting in the way of it. And definitely our toxic environment is just too much. Back in the day, you naturally detoxed, but now we've got to concentrate on it. It's got to be part of our wellness routine. So, you won't find it here in the Merck Manual. Sorry, they took it out. They just decided needed more space for other things. Use your BFA template instead. What do I want you to do now? Check out the blog. I'm doing a series on doctors who jumped ship. I think it's very interesting. I think it's very eye-opening. Check out other videos. Check out my podcast, which is non-video. So there's video chatting, like what I'm doing right now, and there's podcasting. Watch the orientation video if you've never seen it before. If you want to know why this office exists, what my purpose is, because my calling is to help you live your calling. And if you don't know what your calling is, you better work on that, because your day is just mundane, day in and day out. You have to have a calling, and you have to just cherish it and look at every day as purposeful. You've got important things to do. We need your full participation in the world, and you cannot do that with an impaired brain. Let's get a performing brain and learn about the BFA protocol in my chiropractic office. So give me a call. Make that appointment and come on in and enjoy the journey. Look for the next video. Thanks for watching.